Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bells Beyond Podcast by Bell Sisters. My name is Massey, and I am your host here at Bells Beyond Podcast. We're a community driven social enterprise building support system for women entrepreneurs of color. And our community fosters safe spaces where these women can form genuine connections and grow together. And today we have Layla. Leila is the founder and executive director of Mending Minds Foundation, which is a Kenyan based nonprofit committed to promoting mental wellness, suicide prevention at individual, community, and organizational level. And Leila is a dedicated leader and humanitarian. She's a mental health advocate, a mental health specialist with a focus on sustainable mental health solution. Welcome to the show, Layla.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invite, and I'm excited to be here. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank
And
you.
Sisters is really doing a great job bringing women of color together. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Layla. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we're also excited to have you here. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, Layla?
Um, so hi ladies, hi guys, hi everyone. So my name is Leila Kisia, a founder of Mending Minds Foundation, a committed leader, as you have said, and also excited to be here. And mostly, I work in the mental health space. I push also for policy, suicide prevention, because we are seeing what is really happening in the world today, the stats and all those kind of things. So I'm happy to be here to discuss my journey, what it has been, how everything started, how I found myself in leadership, how it went, and what's happening now. It's really an honor to be there, to be here, and just share. And I think people can just pick one or two things here and there because it has really been quite an experience. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you, Layla. Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got to where you are today, what your journey in general has looked like to get here?
So in 2018, um, something came into my mind because of an experience of someone I know on issues surrounding mental health. And I had a question because the person had the last interaction with me.
Mhm.
And that was back around 2013, 2012, thereabout. And after that, we could not locate the person. So, not understanding what was the problem. And we found the person after 3 months, and it was devastating. So I always questioned how come didn't I, how come I didn't see the signs, the warning signs around mental health, and I got unsettled. So I continued with my general, uh, humanitarian work here and there, volunteering here and there to homes, but still something at the back of my mind about mental health was quite disturbing. So in 2018, I remember sitting down and just trying to think around what can really be done. I remember it was in 2018 June. So I wrote things here and there. If you check my notebooks, they're quite messy, but what it carries, and not one or two notebooks, it carries
Mhm.
a lot
Mhm.
because my mind was running so fast. Anything that I could get near me, I just scribble, scribble. Then when I sat down and just put all this together, I realized, wow, this is it. So in 2019, And the mistake I made in 2018, I was scared. I was like, it has to be perfect, all those kind of things. Always scared to go on ground because I wasn't sure of what I'm doing. I know this is it, but I don't really know what I'm
Mhm.
doing. So in 2019, I was like, no, I'm going on ground. So I remember telling a few of my friends here and there, hey, let's go to such and such a home. We can do something around mental health, I think. And they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. And people send money here and there on my phone. And we're like, okay, let's go. Who wants to volunteer? Me, let's go. And we go have a good time, engage with kids. The first one was successful. Then in 2020, we try again. I was like, guys, can we do this? Then we were like, yeah, sure. And we do it again and it's successful. Then COVID hit and we were like, okay,
Mhm.
how can we go about this? Because the kids are lonely and all those kinds of things. Because my focus was really the young people, the kids at these centers, what is happening to these kids. That was really also a concern for me because when everyone was dishing out food, we thought for us, we will do mental health support and all those kind of things. But of course, with the protocols that were needed. So we were going around, partnering with people who were distributing food here and there, and it was quite interesting. So came 2021. I was like, I think this is something. Why should I not register it?
Mm.
So yeah, so in November, I register Mending Minds Foundation. So I'm like, okay, what's next? So 2022, we hit even the road harder. Communities to communities, county governments to county governments, engaging people here and there. And you're back there asking yourself, when will I ever reach ahead? And I really focused on the goal. And we pushed. We are able to also eventually partner even with key policymakers. We sat even in developing a suicide prevention manual that I hope will be launched sooner,
Mhm.
and so many activities around Mending Minds Foundation. And it was exciting. It was really
Mm.
exciting.
Mhm.
And schools, we even started schools in marginalized communities. We were also at the deepest, the biggest, um, the biggest, what do they call? The biggest community,
Communities.
marginalized community in Kenya, the famous Kibera. And it was really amazing. Every time after any engagement, it was so satisfying. We grew, we started partnering with the universities as well to see what solutions, can we have even
Mhm.
for the youth. So the program started expanding from school-based to youth mental health to community-based mental health. Yani every time it was expanding. Suicide prevention training program came up because when we were going around the issue of suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation attempts were really coming in here and there. And we decided, you know what, suicide prevention training program is also a program on its own because we wanted to empower people to be able to, if it's a professional, to have the right tools to, effectively support people. If it's, community, the advocates, frameworks here and there, we developed them from scratch.
Mhm.
And then it reached a time, wow, things started feeling like they're falling apart, yet you are up there out in media and all those kind of things. If you mention Mending Minds in Kenya, those who know us, they know Layla is the face. So if anything goes bad,
It's
mostly is in me.
Layla.
Yeah,
Mm.
face the face. That's me. So when it became exciting, conferences here and there, speaker here and there, panelists here and there, meeting, government officials here and there just to discuss on way forward. but things were falling apart.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the previous year, I remember the biggest activity we had was a workplace mental health program.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2024 in December. And that is where also everything was crashing. My health started deteriorating.
Oh
So
no.
I thought it's fatigue because it's the energy that I've been putting over the years and not getting rest.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, I could not do anything last year. And I didn't understand why. I
Mm-hmm.
had mind fog and all those kind of things. And I'm thinking, wow, we had just strategized for last year. And now this is me, the vision bearer, uh, not functioning. And that really made me sad. So I remember talking to different people of my team, the executive who really support me,
Mm-hmm.
because mostly we always have technical team volunteers here and there. And I'm asking them, what is happening to me? Like I have a mind fog and I could not function at all. So unfortunately, things went south. I could no longer lead.
Oh.
I could no longer do nothing. I
Oh.
could no longer tell them the bigger picture of what I was doing or
Mm-hmm.
what I was planning mending minds to have.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we had a session with the Ministry of Health, among other partners, in developing um, the manual, the suicide prevention manual.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the last activity I was able to do. And eventually I crashed out. And I got so unwell, unfortunately, disappeared in the streets of LinkedIn as well. And to a point of surgery, to a point of, you know, admission
Oh.
for so many days. And I got out this year. This year comes, I feel so confused. I feel like I'm not I'm not a good leader. Things are not moving. I felt like everything has paused for God's sake. And I'm like, I had empowered people here and there. Why are things not moving? I didn't know what I was going through affected the people around me that much, whether volunteers, whether specialists I was working with, the executive team, like the world came to a stop. And it started feeling really bad because I didn't know what to do anymore. So in April, I was still recovering. And in May, I didn't even know if I could get to this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I didn't realize that was the time I was reflecting even deeper on the organization. And I realized sometimes you need to sit back as a leader and reflect.
And reflect. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Without reflection, there are so many things that could go wrong or right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I've never had time to sit down, rethink, reflect, change what needs to be changed immediately if it's not serving our mission and goals. And I realized what are the really key things that we need to push. What is our smart game? What
Mm-hmm.
is like, where do we stand out in the industry? The industry is big. Everyone, most organizations these days, they have mental health, mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And what is happening? What is that one thing or two things that makes Mending Mind stand out?
Mm-hmm.
And I started reflecting. I'm like, yeah, by the way, and all this time I was feeling anxious, but the moment the reflection clicked in, and that is in April,
Mm-hmm.
I knew, oh, rebuilding it is. That is where this theme came in my mind even before the invite to this, to this podcast.
That's, yeah.
When I got the invite, I'm like, okay, what will I speak about? I'm not ready to be, in media's pod. I'm not ready. I
Oh,
don't know what to
yeah.
talk about.
Oh,
And I thought about it. And my son told me, Mama, you've always done a good job. Just go,
good.
just speak. Yes.
Yes, good.
And that was like a light. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you've been doing great. Just go talk about what you've been doing, what went wrong, what went right. And that's just it. It's an experience. I don't need to think so much about what I'm going to talk about.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And that is how I'm here. And that is where I come from.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it has been exciting, scary, and all those things that I've mentioned for a minute.
yeah.
And I think as a leader, sometimes these moments come. So
Yeah.
the question is, even if you are gone, will your brand still
What
stand?
is your legacy? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that
yeah,
hit me. It hit me.
yeah.
And I realized there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I was so focused on the goal because I remember each year we put goals, 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 goals. And goals, if you focus on goals so much, you can, you know, it's not guaranteed that
Mm.
there will be growth. It's
Yeah.
not a guarantee. But if you focus on growth, the bigger picture, the goals will
Mhm.
automatically come in
Yeah.
place.
Yes.
So, yes, over the years, we have done so much, but we should have put more focus on the growth. And that is a big lesson.
Mm.
So, when I speak about rebuilding, I thought to myself, I thought my purpose is gone. I thought everything has just died because what if by now I could be somewhere else? I could be gone. I feel like this organization probably would have died.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm here, that is not the case. That means empowering even a more stronger team, establishing a foundation that will never shake. Yes, there is a foundation, but is it long term? Will it be swept when I'm
Mm-hmm.
gone?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So those are the key lessons that I've learned through this
Mm-hmm.
season of rebuild.
Yeah.
To be able to get enough time to reflect,
Yeah.
to even, yes, I have a team, to even strengthen, every part of me,
Mm-hmm.
even see who can be, who can I trust with this
Yeah.
is really
It's
important.
really important. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
No,
has been quite interesting.
thank you. Thank you for sharing that journey, Layla. Thank you so much. There are a lot of things I want to acknowledge in your story. First of all, I do want to acknowledge the experience that kind of started all of this in 2012, 2013. You said. Um, I know that that must have been traumatic, so I do want to say I am sorry that that happened. So I did want to acknowledge that. And I also, wanted to ask a couple of questions, just hearing your story. Um, so I know that you said in around 2019, 2018 or so, you said you told yourself, let's get boots on the ground and let's get this thing going. What was it that actually really pushed you to even do that? Because it's one thing having an idea and saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's another thing taking that action, taking that step, and going in and doing it.
Wow. So I remember I received a distressing call from someone close to me regarding the person who, had disappeared. They went all through all those kind of, experience regarding mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
and that stressed me, and my mind was going crazy
Mm-hmm.
because we need to find a place where we can be able to, take him, the person, you know, has been skipping medication, this and this and this. What can we do? Where can we go? So when I was trying to make calls, you hear you have to do a deposit of quite a big sum of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very stressing call. And I sat down that night and started writing. People, we need access to mental health services, and not just access,
Mm-hmm.
you know, affordable access, sometimes even free access to these services. Why is it that everywhere I'm calling, where are the, helplines? Where are these? Where is that? And that really pushed me now to the wall to say, I will take action. This cannot be happening, not when I'm around, not when I'm seeing. And this kind of concern even rise to community level, and to all those other levels that I've explained, because I think mental illness or mental health problems can be triggered in any format,
In this
in
form.
your homes, in your communities, in your churches, anywhere. And this really pushed me to a level of having all these programs that I've mentioned, because now it becomes like a 360 issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because without a community, without sticking together, because we need advocates to be empowered, communities, workplaces, it cannot be just one people, it cannot be just professionals. That's why for us is more of a prevention, but
Mm-hmm.
we have a system that connects you to these trained individuals. If it's a professional you need, who can be able to effectively help you with the right tools. So right now, even as I'm speaking about rebuilding, we are getting into another level. And I think even as leaders, don't be afraid to go through the pain, because we all know no pain, no gain,
No pain, no gain.
no
Yeah,
gain.
that's true.
So
That's very
me,
true.
I've been on the cutting edge. I was feeling choked every single day. Even in my bed in hospital, I was just being choked about this organization. It was choking me. At some point, I thought, let this thing go. But no,
Oh.
I did not. And I am not. And I'm going to, you know, I've already re strategized. I've already talked to my executives here and there and the people that I trust in this. So it's all about rebuilding, and I'm not afraid. It's not starting over, it's rebuilding what already
Already
exists.
exists. Yes. No, there is something you just said now, which I really love. I love that you're not afraid to repeat, because I think as founders, whether you have a nonprofit or a for-profit or a startup, I think a lot of times we're really scared to start over. We're scared to rebuild. We think to ourselves, why not just keep going? But sometimes, um, what might be needed might be, you know, just kind of starting over, just kind of rebuilding what is there already,
Yeah,
and establishing it more properly. So I do really like that. That's something that you're not afraid of.
I'm not.
Um, yes, yes,
Mm,
yes.
yeah,
Now, okay, well, still back to the story. Um, the organization was kind of growing fast, You were meeting ministers, you're going to the Ministry of Health and Ministry of this, and partner with all these institutes. How were you able to deal with that level of success? And I ask this because as business owners, yes, of course, we want success in our business, but sometimes when you have huge, like very huge, in a very short time kind of success, it can cause some level of imbalance that um deters you from even moving in the right direction. So I'm just wondering, with that high level of success, how were you able to handle and manage it?
That's a good question. I love it. You
Mhm.
know, when things happen so fast, the way you're saying, for me, it was a goal.
Mm.
Why I spoke about goals. I want to
Mhm.
reach here, reach here. So every space that I step in, I have to identify these policy makers, make a move. I know some of us are introverts, or shy, and all those kind of things. But in a room where you think there are people or partners that you can really align with what you do, have conversations, sit in tables with people during lunch hour, tea break, speak to someone and rotate it. Don't stick to one person
Don't
speaking
think,
to one person.
yes.
Give me a card, take a card here and there. That is how I built my network so faster. And also referrals. Someone says, I know Leila, check out Leila here and there. And it has been amazing. And working with people and doing your best, because for me, honestly, if it's not excellence, what are we doing? That is also something that really helped. If you're called somewhere, do it with excellence.
Mm.
Like, I love what I do and I put so much love and excellence. Even when I'm called somewhere to talk, to present, I'm always like, am I prepared? Will this, when I present this, is it worth it? How does my presentation look like? Because
Mhm.
we are going somewhere, your presentation just looks,
You look, yeah. Hmm.
like you didn't do, like you're just doing just because. For me, my presentation is very, very important. It has to look top notch. And
Mm.
that is something that people will see. Oh, she put so much work here. Okay. Okay. So even if it means getting someone to help me have a nice present, I will always do it to ensure that what I'm presenting will keep
Mm.
people focused on what I'm really trying to say. But if your presentation is boring, girl, people get tired. People get tired. Even as a suicide prevention trainer, I always make sure my presentation really looks good so
Mhm.
that people feel like they're like, okay, okay, the image, the wording's okay, and
Yeah.
such. And that is a secret that leaders should know. We should not present lazy presentations for sure. That has really worked, and it has given me a spot in so many podiums to speak, to present, and I'm always very specific. I'm presenting because it also takes away my shyness and my anxiety,
Yeah. Mhm.
in front of people, because I'll be like, focus there. I look at you briefly, I continue. That has really been a secret that has really helped me through this process. And also good reviews after every engagement that we have had. So for me, that has really also, accelerated my growth.
Growth. Mhm.
Yeah, and also helping me with my goals. But
Yeah.
again, my focus was the goals.
Yeah.
When I realized growth comes first, I'm not pushing myself so much that this needs to happen by this
Mhm.
Q1.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm like, what is the next step for growth,
Mhm. Yeah.
expansion, And it's not just growth business wise. I'm talking about even rebuilding myself, because it really mentally challenged me
Mhm.
when I got. So, what can I do also to grow my mental wellness? because without my mental health, what am I
What are
doing?
you doing? Plus, that's the field. Yeah.
Yeah, what am I doing? There's the brain, there's the mind. If I don't take care of my mind, yes, you can have the brain for all these things.
Mm.
But once your mind goes off, there's
It's
nothing you can
yeah,
do.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
yeah, leaders, we should really focus on our mental health to
mm,
ensure we are in check.
yeah,
Because can you imagine how many people are looking at us?
that's true.
So if we are not in check,
Yes, that's one of the
yeah,
things my business coach said. She said, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, your mind has to always be right. Because if
yeah,
it's not right, it affects the business or it affects whatever leadership position you're in. And then it
yeah,
also is a trickle down effect that affects your, whether it's your volunteers or your employees. Because they're looking at you, they're not sure what's going on. So yes, mental health for leaders is a must. We definitely have to take care of our mental health. Thank you, Leela, for buttressing that point. So now I do want to ask, I know you said actually kind of backtracking a little bit, as leaders, we're supposed to take care of our mental health. Now, being in your field is suicide prevention, so I'm pretty sure you deal with things that are traumatic. Um, how do you take care of yourself?
wow, that is really, really important to me. So, first of all, for me, what really works
Mhm.
is, you know, my emotions really needs to be in check. So I'm very keen on the people around me, the people I give access to.
Mm,
Because if you look at mental health in a professional aspect, most of the cases we discuss about or have interactions about is um, either family, either a partner. First of all, in Kenya right now, the rates of GBV are high. Women are being killed like crazy. And, it's crazy outside here. And for me, my emotional being is really, really alert. When I sit with you, I am always looking at you like, how are you making me feel?
mm,
That's the
mhm,
important part that we don't take in account too. We brush off so many things, yet they are really affecting us in real life, you know, and also just having time for myself. I walk, sometimes quiet times with music, you know,
I
sometimes,
like that.
yes, on full blast and I'm just enjoying myself. I love cooking good food sometimes, when evenings comes, I'm like, oh, I love the kitchen. Yeah, and right now that I'm able to do so much stuff for myself because I was being taken care of most of the time. And the moment I could have myself back, I'm back to cooking and I'm really enjoying it.
Mm,
And then what also makes me happy is, having quiet moments. Sometimes I just want to be alone. I will lock myself somewhere, just be alone and
just be
just
alone.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And just having a quiet moment, long showers, a candle or something just to smell good, just finding my comfort zone. That
Mm,
has really been helpful for my mental health as well. And also, of course, connecting with friends,
mhm.
laughing here and there. Yeah, just being silly makes me feel happy. Yeah.
You take pleasure in the simple things of life, and I love
Very
it. When you talked
cool.
about cooking, or you just listen to music, or you lock
Mm,
yourself in the room and you just enjoy your presence. I think those
yeah.
are those are really nice, simple pleasures that could
Mm,
help your mental health.
yeah.
Because it's not that you have to do something big. I mean, of course, we all love shopping. At least I do. But
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's the simple things, the simple
The
things.
very
I
simple.
know you expected shopping, fancy restaurants, just sitting there. That's also self-care.
It is,
I would
but
love
yeah,
that. These simple things, you can't be in a fancy restaurant every day.
every day. Yes.
I'm looking at things. So if you're not in the fancy restaurant, what would you be doing?
Mhm.
If you cannot go for a trip, what will you be doing?
Yeah.
Just just looking around your environment, I think it's so important, and just picking simple things. I think that is where the card is at.
Yeah. That's top notch.
Yeah,
I do like that because again, it also shows you don't really have to break the bank to
yeah.
just enjoy life. It's just again, like you said, those simple pleasures. Um,
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Layla, for that. So as we're rounding up, I do have one final question for you.
Okay.
Um, so what advice would you give to a woman who wants to go into nonprofit, the nonprofit world, um, or even, have a business in the mental health industry?
Um, I always tell people just start. For me, I lingered a little, but just start. Just start, even if it means just talking to your friends, anybody, just start. The
Mhm.
direction will get you on the way for sure. You'll figure out things as you go because the moment I took action, that is where mending minds developed to a process of now registering. Because if you don't understand the field you really want to work on, it becomes difficult. So
Mhm.
go out there, get information that you need, understand how it works. Because even for you as an individual, you don't need to do what I do. It depends with the community, it depends with your focus, your goals, your mission. What do you really want to do? Because if you try to do what other people are doing, it becomes like a baggage on you, because that's not your purpose. Your purpose is towards something else around mental health. So, and also be keen on the trends. Be very keen, because also for us, we have gone AI mode. We're just waiting for a launch here and there, and we hope everything goes successfully well. Because I think mental health and AI, creating systems that work, accessibility, all those kind of things is what we are working on. And I hope that everything becomes successful. Be keen on the trends. Please don't live on the past trends, because even as we advance in life, the next 5 years will be different. Always review. Don't be afraid to change what does not work. It is so important. Have awareness, that is from the community to yourself, because also your character, your personality, your integrity speaks a lot to what you're building or planning to build. So it's really, really important. Then I always work with the 3 C's.
Mhm.
Guys, have commitment, have consistency, and also good communication. That will save you $1,000,000. And not forgetting discipline. Even when things don't work, you know, rebuild. Just what I'm doing, just rebuild. It has taken so many years to be where I am. But going back, at first it felt painful. Then I said, wait a minute, it's even becoming bigger and better.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm not rushing with goals. I'm focusing on the growth. So we did this. What was wrong? What was right? So what are we doing away with, or what are we enhancing to make sure we give people the best experience ever, so that it becomes sustainable, empower those around you, so that what you are building does not break eventually. That is what I can tell a woman watching me or listening to me right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Layla. Thank you, ladies. You heard it. One of the key things I took away was the 3 C's: commitment, consistency, and communication. And then the D, discipline. So definitely have that in your pocket because I also do think it's very important. So as we are rounding up, we've come to the end of the episode for today, and I do want to really acknowledge Layla. I do want to say thank you so much, Layla, for being a part of this conversation. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being open because, like you said, this is a very hard time for you, but you still graced us with your presence. So for that, we are very thankful because we've learned and we've enjoyed your story. So thank you, Layla, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed this episode and I'm really excited and looking forward to what can come about out of all this. And
Mm.
I hope, yeah, I'm also looking forward to learn from others. I've started checking into your podcast because I think building each other is all about learning from each other
Yeah,
as well. I'm
yeah.
really excited to hear about other founders, what they're doing, what they're up to. And I'm happy to know Bell Sisters Collective. And yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Layla. We're grateful to have you too. And to you guys listening, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode, and we'll see you next week.